Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at 5 ways to be more memorable. Now, when it comes to selling and when it comes to being in business, being forgettable is expensive. So there's a couple of things here that you can do that are fairly straightforward and fairly low cost or no cost to help you stick in the mind of your potential clients and your current customers. The first one, be omnipresent. Now, this is known as propinquity. So by being omnipresent, what we mean here is being active and keeping the lines of communication open. You're more memorable if people see you more often. Are you posting regularly on social media? Do you advertise regularly? Are you in regular communication with your prospects and or your clients? You see, the more you're exposed to something, the more familiar it becomes and the more favorable you feel towards it. Also, you're just going to remember it. So look at your levels of activity and your levels of awareness in the marketplace. Could you increase the frequency? Could you increase the exposure that you have to your potential clients and to your current clients so they're more aware of you and you reach a degree of omnipresence? Okay, number 2, be controversial. Now, this might not be for everybody and it might not be appropriate for your offering or your brand, but using controversial language and controversial concepts can be a great way to capture attention and to make yourself more memorable. The example that I use here is a food outlet which is in America but it's coming to the UK called Egg Slut. Now, the word slut isn't a word that we use in common parlance in everyday language, so it stands out and you're more likely to remember it because they're being controversial. Now, being controversial doesn't always mean being rude or swearing or anything like that, but could you take an opposing viewpoint or a strong viewpoint on a particular matter? As long as you're not alienating your potential client base and as long as you're not harming anybody, how could you use a degree of controversy in your messaging and in your marketing to help you to stand out? Number 3, have a signature. Now, having a signature, so our signature here at Clear Sales Message is that all of our slides and all of our communications are in black and white. In the example here, we use the red charity campaign from a few years back. Having a signature element to your offering, whether it's the physical appearance or whether it's just the way that you do things or the way that you speak, the way that you behave, or how quickly you deliver, or whatever. If you can have a signature move, a signature color, something that is the same every time and it's quite recognizable, it can help you to be more memorable to your potential clients. Number 4, use a tagline. Now, I'm a huge fan of using taglines. I wrote the book on it called How to Write a Tagline. You see, a catchy, memorable, or explanatory tagline can really help you to engage buyers and be more memorable. Human beings have an 8-second attention span and the average reading age of a 9-year-old as an adult in the UK. The need to express the nature of your offering in as few words as possible and in simple language is very, very important. Taglines give you a really nice, neat way of articulating your offering or supporting your messaging, whilst also using systems such as alliteration or rhyming or anaphora, where you repeat clauses in a statement to be more memorable. So if you don't already use a tagline or a catchphrase or whatever you want to call it in your business, consider doing so because it can dramatically increase your memorability. And finally, number 5, the one thing you learned today. Now, this is the education effect. Depending on your offering, how could you educate your potential client and teach them something new that they just do not know? If you can educate your client and tell them something that they don't already know, a couple of really powerful things happen. First of all, you position yourself as an authority in your space or an expert. Secondly, you incite intrigue. If I can teach you something new, then what else might I know? So you're more likely to pay attention to me and to stick around. And thirdly, that new thing that you've learned, if it's of value, it's going to stick with you. And that is the most important point. That is where I'm more memorable to you. If I can teach you something that you find value in, it's going to stand out. So there you have it. 5 simple ways to be more memorable in everyday business life. I can't stress enough that being forgettable in business is a really, really expensive hobby. Now, being memorable doesn't necessarily mean using the word slut or being outrageous in what you're doing, but it does mean taking a considered approach to your messaging, to your selling, to your product offering, to how you behave, and to be mindful of the fact that most people that you're dealing with have a very, very short attention span and a very, very small window of opportunity for you to communicate with them and to connect with them. The more memorable that you can become in the minds of your potential buyers, the higher the chance that these guys are going to remember you and then use your product or service when the time is right. So thank you very much for watching. Please share this video with anyone who you think could benefit from watching it. Subscribe now if you'd like to be notified when we release more videos like this. And thank you very much for your time. I'll see you in the next video.